Hey everyone, welcome to a build video. So I bought the HE3D K280 DIY kit. This is a Delta style printer. I don't own a Delta at the moment. This will be my first Delta. I've been warned by somebody that this may be a real POS. You can look that up if you don't know what POS stands for. But anyway, so I bought it. It was $100 off, so it was like $320 for it. It's supposed to print around 25 inches tall, which is like 600 millimeters. So it'll be like the tallest print volume printer that I would have in my arsenal. So that's where I'm at. I'm getting ready to open the box right now. So I have two cameras running. One's off to one side, one's basically straight at me. So we'll see how this all goes. We'll cut open the tape here on the box. Trying to be somewhat careful not to cut through too deep with my cutter. Cut both ends of the box. And we'll get this open. And I'm going to throw this box out of the way really quickly as fast as I can get the stuff out of the box. So I don't really need to sit here and go through, oh look, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. So it comes with a blue and a red filament in the box. Don't know how good they are. You know, the Chinese stuff is not always the best. Two boxes that feel like hardware or maybe motors, I can't tell. Styrofoam crap that I need to throw away. Where's my trash can at? Right there. Put my trash can. Get the styrofoam thing out of the way. Looks like these are all of the rails right here. Hopefully they aren't bent. We'll hope everything's good with them. I don't have any way of testing that. I don't have a known flat surface table that, you know, like at work we have granite tables available that would allow me to make sure this thing is perfectly flat. Unfortunately, that's not something I have available to me here at home. I wish it were. Obviously the rods that attach the hot end to the mechanism that makes it go up and down, or however you want to call it. More crap to throw away. Box of stuff, and another box of stuff. I'm going to set all these boxes out of the way for the moment until I get the big box emptied. I'm going to open all the smaller boxes. I know nobody cares about seeing all this stuff. So typically, what I tend to usually do anyway, is I will just show a video of me assembling and not opening the box. Because I think it's a waste of time. People don't want to watch you open a box and go, oh look, here's this, oh look, here's that. Nobody gives a shit about that. Nobody cares. I'm being honest about it. I know what people don't want to see. Even though I haven't been doing very many videos, I do know what I like to not see. And watching somebody open a box is just not a lot of fun. So anyway, the box is now empty of all the main stuff. This piece of the cardboard and some more packing material. I'm going to throw that box out my hallway, so that's out of my way. I have my calipers if I need them. Looks like we have instructions here. This is obviously a glass plate and a heated build plate. And it's all wired up, as you can see here. So that's ready to go. I'm going to put that off to the side because that's going to be a while, I'm sure, before I need that. So, looks like this is a parts list for what it's worth. I will open the boxes so I can get everything kind of out and be ready for whatever we need to do here. So it has numbers on the box. It'd be nice if they underline the 6 and the 9 to let you know. Like here, there's probably a 6. There's probably 6 boxes in here. I don't know. There's 7. Nope, there's number 7. So I don't really know what number what is. Here's number 1. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. And here's number 4. So why is there a... Here's number 5. This might be 6. And that's number 7. Alright, so there's 7 boxes. Awesome. Let's see, so we start here on the directions according to this thing. Now, this may not be a very accurate setup, so I don't know. Really not giving you a lot of detail on how to assemble this thing. Well, in that typical Chinese methodology. So anyway, let's open up our boxes of stuff, I guess, and figure out what we have, because I don't see much else to do here. Okay, so they have directions on assembling the one part, which is this bottom part. So in the directions here, they have D1 through D5 or D7 or whatever for assembly. So they don't have D1 on the main assembly parts, but I'm assuming this must be D1 because that looks like from here, like they're pointing to D1 being that frame, maybe the bottom frame, but it still should be pretty similar in construction, with the exception of a motor and stuff like that that are in the one. So I'm going to start with that and put that together is what my plan will be, but I need to look at what's in each box, so I have no idea what's in each box. So this has a couple of motors and some sleeving. Obviously I don't need that right away, so that's a wait and see, and I'm going to rip this top off the box. So I'm not going to close the box up again because it's going to be used to build the printer. Open up number 5 and see what's inside. That's another couple of motors, so there's my other 2 motors. So there's 4 motors. Let's see, so let's start off with one. I guess 1 is probably where we really want to start. Nope, 1 ain't where we want to start. So what's in 1? We have a spatula. Fairly large. I'm really surprised at how big that spatula is. I'm going to put that off to the side over here with my other tools. Throw away the foam. And then it's just cabling and wiring and a pair of diagonals and a European adapter for US adapter plugs and the hot end, which is very similar to a, I don't know what they call it, Crimean or something like that, Crimean or something like that they call from HE3D. It's very similar to that, only a single nozzle instead of a dual nozzle. It's very similar to the design of the nozzle that I'm doing on my dual extruder for the CR10. So what's in here? This is box number 2, and number 2 has a bunch more wire fans. So it has the fans, has some other hardware here. I can't tell what all this is. So it's different hardware for different things. So I guess as I go through, it'll figure it out. There's D1. I would be needing that, obviously. So it's probably labeled somewhat in order to a degree. There's D3, D2, D4. So when I get to those other things, and here's a little bag of tools. So there's D6 and D7. So 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I'm assuming it's supposed to be 5 because it's not labeled, or this is 5, or there's D5. So there's 5, 6, 7, and then whatever this is, springs and stuff for underneath the build plate, looks like for leveling maybe. And that's what we got in number 2. And that's trash. Alright, so that took care of that. Let's go open up box number 3 and see what's inside. So I've got anything to build what we want to build. Cables. Looks like the sensor for censoring the tip for when you're doing your bed level. I hate doing it that way. Kind of like out of bed leveling. Well, anyway, the control board and other cables and a USB cable and another one of those sensors for doing bed leveling. They gave you 2 of the sensors for bed leveling, and that's pretty much what's in there. Okay, so I'll put that box off the side. I don't really need it at the moment. So far I haven't found any of the stuff I need to build what I want to build. Okay, so on to another. Okay, so this is the parts to build what I'm trying to build. Here's the belts. I'm going to put the belts over here by the build plate. Here's some laser cut plastic, some more laser cut plastic, some clips for clipping that glass bed onto the heated bed, and Bowden feed tube. Standard PTFE Bowden feed. And that box is empty. Okay, so let's look at what we got to do here to build this first part. So it starts off with one of these guys. And it looks like there's some T-nuts that go on there along with some other nuts and stuff like that, which is probably all in this D1 bag. We will pull that open, dump it out in my hand here. Maybe I need to set up a, I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab something out of the garage. I'm going to go grab my, one of my magnetic trays because I don't like stuff just rolling around where it can fall and cause a problem later. Okay, so I got my magnetic tray here, so I can put my things in there so I don't lose track of them and they don't end up all over my floor and I lose them and I don't know where they are. I wish their directions were a little bit better than what they have here, but anyway, that's the way it is. So, anyway. Looks like the first thing is going to be these M4 nuts, and it looks like M410. So this is probably a 10 millimeter M4, and these are M4 nuts. And it looks like what we're going to do is we're going to get them started into this part right here. So that way, let's see which we want. This way. Of course, I can't hold on to things. My hands are all slippery all of a sudden. So they got dust or something on them. Oh, they got graphite on them. Ah! I wiped out the little tin tray, and there was graphite dust in it. And so that's giving me a little bit of a problem here with my hands being all slippery now. Let me wash them quickly here to get that dust off. Okay, so now my hands aren't so slippery. Okay, so we have another M10, another T-nut. And we'll do the same thing on the second hole. That one's done. Same thing. It's a lot easier to put together when things aren't trying to slip out of your hand. Now the way you put these T-nuts on, just so you guys understand which way to do it so you don't make the mistake, is there's a curved side to it. The curved side faces inward to what's going to be the rail when the rail attaches. So the flat side is against the In this case, the little corner bracket for the Delta. So that's number one. We have to do this several times. Should be 4 of these, or 6 of these. There must be in the other box. I'm going to assume it's in box number 7. Has the rest of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Actually, several. There's like double on one of them. Because it looks like on the bottom they double it up. That's where the motors and stuff go. So I have 2 sets of these on the bottom. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 6. 2 there. There. 6 and 3 for the other one. Okay. So we have all that ready. Just getting some other stuff out. This has the power supply in it. I'm not sure what this is. Looks like it's painter's tape, and then something is stuck in the middle between the painter's tape. It holds the hot end, obviously. So that's for putting on the print bed to try and print. I don't use that shit. Sorry, I don't use tape. And then the power supply, and that box is history. Oh, I also grabbed the Coke while I was downstairs because I'm thirsty. And I get thirsty when I'm talking. That'll go over here on my desk behind me. So we'll continue putting these nuts all on this piece, and we'll begin doing that again, and then again, and then again, and then again. This is a really boring part of this, obviously. Make sure we don't screw this up. The nut or the screws, or whatever you want to call them, M4 screws go on the inside, and then your T-nuts, flat side facing the plastic part we're putting together right now, curved side away. This first one is always the hardest one. I don't know why. And then the one to start. It's getting cross-threaded here. There we go. Okay, so I got that started. Grab another one. Another key. Another one. I don't know how well this printer is going to work. It was cheap. Probably one this size is going to be, in the $1,200 to $1,600 price range for one this size by one of the more reputable companies. And what do I mean by a more reputable company? CNC is probably one that would be a more reputable company, and their prices are a little bit high for me. My wife doesn't like my hobby as it is, or she always complains about it. I don't know if she likes it or not, but she always complains about, you spend too much money doing this, you spend too much money doing this. But then I point to her whole closet full of clothes and all of the different pieces of silver she's bought, and I say, it's a lot cheaper than all these things that you've bought. And of course she gets pissed off when I say that and gets defensive, and I'm just trying to point out to her, it's not like I'm spending any more than she is, and the fact is she doesn't work. I work. I'm the one who pays all the bills. I'm the one who has to take care of everything. So tough sometimes, I hate being that way sometimes, but it's like, come on, this is what I do to relax. I find it enjoyable. You may not like it, but I do enjoy it. So let me do what I enjoy, and don't give me shit for it. So I'm assuming, again, because the other instructions start at like D3 or D4 or something like that, D4, is that the D2 kit is the same parts basically as this first part here, because it's the second level of this bottom part which holds the motors. So that's my assumption, since I'm already running out of M10s and the T-nuts to do this. So I'm assuming that's probably the truth. So I'll open up the D2 bag here in a moment. I got all three of those done. So what I'm going to assume is, again, because there's nothing that says, that these ones will be, the shorter ones obviously, are going to be the ones that build the frame on the top and the bottom of the printer. There's some things you can easily assume by looking at the way things are done, you know, like the top and bottom of the printer, the way that that's done. You know, I make some assumptions because maybe I'm a little more different than other people are. I don't know if other people make those kind of assumptions when they look at something, but I do. And but I am an engineer by trade, even though my degree is actually computer science, but I do a bit of everything. I design hardware, I write software, so I do a bit of everything. I do not only just regular software, but I do embedded software. So I've done DSPICs processors, which I use. I actually have a design that's a bit error rate tester that I did for work that we use in multiple projects. So that's, you know, some embedded, you know, written in C and then compiled for the DSPIC processor. DSPIC is digital signal processing, digital signal PIC. So there's specific ones for different things you want to do. We have one that's actually for motor control, so that'd be for more like for doing robotics. I don't do anything in robotics, so I don't need that type of PIC. So I use a standard DSPIC processor for doing multiple communication ports and digital controls. So I'm just bullshitting while I'm peeling off this crap from the rails here. So, okay, so we've got 3 of those ready. I'm going to set these 3 off to the side. That'll be D2 part. And we'll take these and we'll start putting these together. So make sure these are turned sideways at an angle. Drop them down so they're like this. And that will slide into the T slot on the part. And you put that in and you take it all the way to the limit. And then we'll open up the little bag of tools here so I can get a wrench out, even though I have lots of wrenches somewhere, not somewhere, in my toolboxes right over there where my printer is currently running. But I want to use the stuff that they have in the box so you can see that what they provide will do the job. That's not the right size, that's not the right size, this will be the right size right here. So then we turn this and it'll lock the T's into place. And it'd be nice if these were the what they call ball head, because it would allow me to get in here easier on the ones that are on the inside, obviously, which are a pain to tighten up at the moment. I got that one in, I'm going to tighten my fingers, and then I'll use the wrench to get it really tight. And we'll get this thing together here pretty quickly. I was thinking about live streaming this, but nobody seemed to really be interested in doing that, so I was like, okay, fine. I'm easy to get along with. I don't need to do a live stream if you don't want me to do a live stream. So if nobody's really interested in participating in a live stream, then I'm not going to do a live stream. Come on. In there again. Put that in, put that one in, good. So take the first one, we'll tighten this one because it's easier to get to. And it'll be easier to tighten up. Put that one in. I'll tighten this with my finger until it gets as tight as I can get it with my fingers. And I'll use the hex wrench to tighten that up. The ball head would make this much easier because I could come at it at an angle and not have a problem with that. And there's that one. Now we'll do the same thing again on this side. Line everything up. The right angle here. This is going to go on this side. Like that. Come on. Get in there. I hate when it does that. Decides it doesn't want to go. You know, sometimes it's a pain to get things into the slot. Okay, so I got them both in there. I'll tighten this one up fairly quickly. And I misplaced the damn, there it is. Already? No, it came out of the slot, it didn't fit. All I do is tighten up the plastic instead of tightening up the damn nut. I hate that. Sometimes these T-nuts don't quite do what you expect them to do. So I'll take it back out. Obviously it didn't work the way it should. We'll do this again. God, I hate when it just wants to turn and not go where I want it to go. Oh, I forgot. These will just slide in. That's my fault. Now that should hold on. Okay, got that one. I forgot that I can just, I don't have to line them and slide them in. I don't know why I'm doing that. The T-nuts are narrow enough that they just fit right into the slot. Okay, so that's done. Turn that one sideways, turn that one sideways. Take that and just kind of go like that, and it will just hold in place just like that without having to try and slide them and fight with it. And we'll do this one. And hopefully everything goes good. Okay, so that one's locked in place thoroughly. We'll tighten this one up. All right, so we're almost there. Got one more to put together. This obviously is going to be more of a problem than the other ones were, because it's at the corner, right? This one's a little more tough to put together because it's right there at the corner, which is a little bit tighter to get in. Hopefully I can get everything lined up here. Obviously this nut didn't turn to be the angle we wanted. There, that's all together now. And I got them all in. And I can tighten this up. Make sure things are pulled. Yes, it is. It's tight. Good. Tighten this one by fingers. Excuse me. Okay. This one. And you can grab. Sometimes what happens is they don't grab, and you gotta start them again. And see, that one didn't grab again. I don't know why it's not grabbing. Still didn't grab. Oh, I don't believe it. This thing does not want to grab. There. Not grab. Bring that back out a little bit. Make sure that one's in place. Turn it. Okay. That's tight. So that's the first one there complete, and we're done with that part, the first part. So that's where we are with the first one. We're going to do another one just like that for the base here. So that will be one more time doing that. Open up bag number D2 to get those parts out. So I don't have any more M10 or M410 cap screws. Obviously there's a couple other parts in here which go for the belts, just like the other one had parts for the belts to go on, just like that. And we're going to take out some more M410s and we'll get them going on the other three parts. So rather than sit there and have you guys sit here and watch me do this over and over and over for 6 times or three more assemblies, I'm going to pause the video, pause it here, and I will assemble those parts, and then I'll restart the video again after that. So this is the beginning of the assembly of the bottom parts of the frame. Welcome back to the build here of the Delta printer, the HE3D 600mm or the K280 printer. One of the things I found out as I was putting these things together is there's a curve on this plastic piece here. They all, on all 3 sides, need to be facing the same direction. Because what's going to happen is you're going to actually use, probably doesn't matter on the top one, but on the 2 bottom ones, because you're going to put a motor in here. And you put the motor in gear, and that little bit of curvature is where the motor actually fits. And so therefore it is necessary for this to go together. So the way I'm going to do this is I have a motor here. I'm going to take the motor, I'm going to take one of the gears, which is this gear right here, and I'm going to, I already got one on it, so never mind. Sitting on the motor. So what's going to happen is it's going to go in here, and then there's 2 10mm screws, number 3s, M3 10mm that go in. And we need to start those so they go into the motor and, you know, hold the motor in place. Now, you could do it with the other half on here, but I think it gets in the way. I thought I'd go ahead and get it started with the screws, kind of get everything kind of going before I put the other half on. So if you're going to start the bottom screws on it first, make assembly just a tad bit easier maybe. You notice I went to my tools, so I'm using my T-handles to do this. The other ones will work, but I just think the T-handles work a little bit better. There are little grooves actually cut into the plastic here that allow you to get your longer handles in, so it works really well for that. So I'm getting my screws somewhat in here. I'm not going to put them all the way in. I'll put them all the way in when I get the other half on. So I'm going to go around. I'm going to put all 3 motors on here on the bottom half, and all 3 gears. I did it wrong here. I think the position of the wiring needs to go a different way. Since the wiring is contained inside the frame, I'm going to turn it to the side. That way it's not against the bottom and it's not against the top. So I'm going to actually redo this and put it so that the wires for the motors will be against the side. So as soon as I get this last screw undone, there, I'll rotate it, and then I'll screw it back in again. So it goes into the motor again. Okay, so I got started again on that one. And I'll do the same thing with the other screw, get it started in the motor. So you see I'm kind of figuring things out as I go. That's normal. Because it doesn't say in the drawing anything about the curves in this plastic. It's got to hold the motor and all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't tell you that. So you have to really watch for that. So while I was away and I was messing around putting these things together, I looked at the next step in the directions and said, oh, you got to put these together. Well, gee, thank you for telling me we need to put them together, because it's much easier to put them together the right way and have these curves in the right direction when you know about it. So I'm just temporarily, maybe, that's a little bit bigger than that is. Must be this one. So I'm temporarily put these on here so they don't slide around. I don't know what the position is supposed to be, but you know, I need to do something to keep them from moving and also keep the slot lined up as far as where the flat side of the gear is, or the flat side on the motor, so the gear goes onto the flat side and laxes in properly. So I'll get that in place, and I'll get the other, again, do the other two screws on this one. Grab a couple more 10mm M3s. One right there, get my T-handle lined up, and get it started. And do it again, grab another M310, and we'll get it started on here, maybe. And it's cross-threading, I can tell. Keeps cross-threading on me now. Not what I want it to do. This guy tightened this one over here too tight, and got in a hurry. And I don't have any flexibility on that side to allow me to get this thing lined up properly for the other screw. That way I can get it in the way I want. And the other one came out great. Wonderful. Try that again. That one started. You see, I can tilt the motor up and down, and that'll help me align the screw to initially get it started. Once I've got it started, it's not a problem, but it's just getting it started so it's not cross-threaded is a problem. I don't want it cross-threaded, obviously, because that's just messes things up. Alright, so we got the second motor in. Again, the connection is off to the side. Grab a third motor, and connection off to the side. The gear, turn the flat spot so I can get to it. Put a gear on temporarily. And we'll get the two more M3 10mm. There's one. And there's two. Like that. Put it into the hole. Get it kind of lined up and get it started. Next one. I don't know, for some reason I just suddenly had this thought come in my head. There used to be a TV series that was called The Voyagers. And it's about a little boy, and he was actually, in the end, it ends up he's supposed to be traveling through time with this guy using a device called the Omni. And for some reason, I was thinking of John Eric Hexum, who was the older gentleman in the movie. Not old, but you know, maybe late 20s-ish age. So he was the star, and accidentally killed himself. He was messing around at the party, and he used a prop gun, you know, which is a gun that is designed to shoot blanks. So he was messing with it, and lo and behold, he shot himself and killed himself. And of course, the show, pretty much the show ended after that. It's like it was like he was the show, and you know, they try to say the show must go on in the movie industry or in the entertainment industry, but you know, there's only so far the show can go when your star is dead. You know, God, it's hard to get the thing started because that angle doesn't get in there flat. Guess I shouldn't have tightened the other ones either. But doesn't matter because that's going to still be a problem. Nope, time to do it. I need a. These aren't ball head either. I need a ball head for this. I think I may have one in an Allen wrench. That is a ball head. If you know where a ball head is, I don't know if you can see it on here. It has a little indent at the end that allows it to swivel around, and that's called a ball head. And that helps you to keep things somewhat lined up, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. So get this thing started here. I got that one started. The other one fed in. Now, a ball head is not so good for getting things put in place. I use the flat one to get it in place, and I'll use the ball head to actually start the screw going. Maybe. It looks like I got it started here. So I got both of these in. Looks like I'm going to have to open another bag of hardware here in a minute because I don't seem to have enough of the 10mm M3s from the previous bags. But I got enough for maybe one more right now, and I'll open another bag of parts because I just don't see it here. But I have a whole bag. I have tons of parts. I have tons of cap screws, so it's not really an issue. I can get in here and put another cap screw open up my box of cap screws that I have and get whatever I need whenever I need it. So let's get this guy back into the slot here. Maybe get this guy started. So I got that one started. And one more. No, not in this batch. I don't think it's going to be in this batch. This has all the rollers and things like that in it. I'm going to assume that's for later. I don't think it's in there. I'm going to have to open up my box because I don't see enough of this of the M310s in here at all. Oh, found one more. here. Get it in place. Come with the ball head. And you got it lined up already, and we're screwing it right in. Alright, so I got 2 of the motors completely mounted now. I have all the connectors facing the right way, so that they're all facing with the wiring being inside. I need 2 more 10mm screws, which I don't see any left now. I gotta find where I put my box of screws. Had them earlier. Didn't find them. I probably buried them over here on this table where I moved all the junk around in the room. No, it's not there either. Where did I put it? Nope, there it is. Nope. Where is it? Too much clutter in this room. This is why I'm trying to rearrange my garage. But I got to move some things out that I couldn't move today. So I have to do that another day. Still don't see it. I see my shrink tubing, I see everything else, but I don't see my damn box of screws and nuts. Where the hell is it? I don't get it. I don't know where they are. I just had them today. I just moved them today. So I know they're in this room somewhere. Oh, what the hell. That's the problem when the room is a disaster, is trying to find things later. I can't find it. Didn't put it under there, no. That was this one's Alien 3D box. Not there. Not here anywhere. That was crazy. I can't find it. Really? This is making absolutely no sense why I can't find this. Not there. This is making absolutely no sense. It should just be right here. Ah, found it. Finally. Finally found my box of screws. Okay. Okay, found the screws. These are all M3s. I think this is an M310. Might be a little longer than a 10. Oh wait, I know where they are. I put them in. I had them here when I was doing some other things earlier. M310s. I was starting to sort out M310s, and I threw them in here to get them out of the way when I was rearranging the table here to face the other way, because I can't see what's going on the camera, so I can't see myself. I can't see what I'm looking at when I'm talking to you. I don't know if I'm talking at the camera or if I'm looking away. I don't know where I'm at. So it's easier this way. I can actually see now the cameras, both cameras, so I can see what the cameras are seeing. So now I can actually do the job here. So now I got this last motor to finish attaching. So get this guy in, get the screw in place, get that ball head in here where I can move it around a little bit. See if I get this screw started. It's cross threading, that ain't good. Okay, I got it started now. And now I'll put another one in. That won't work. It tilts around, the screw will fall out before I get it in place. Put that one in place. I'll take the ball head and do it again. Maybe. Come on. Don't be a putz, damn you. Come on. Okay, got it. Alright, so we got the last set of screws for the motors installed. And now the motors are all in place completely. Alright, put those in there so I don't lose them. Alright, so we got the 3 motors in place. On the top half, you put a gear on the top. So the gear is one of these silver gears right here. You take a 15 millimeter screw, you put it through, or not 18 millimeter screw. You put it through it. I'm sure I got an 18 millimeter here. Yeah, these are all 3. I already separated these out. These would all 3 be 18 millimeter screws. And what you're going to do is you're going to actually put it through the plastic here. So right here, in between. So right here, I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to make sure that it's in here. Nope, not working either. So right in here is where that gear is going to go. So it's going to go through this piece of plastic and then through the gear, and then you actually screw it into the piece of plastic on the opposite side. There's no nut to hold it in place. So get it lined up and you kind of just start screwing it in and make sure it screws in tight. You know, make sure the screw goes in. And once you get it in, that'll hold the gear in place, and it just allows you to put the gear on there, and the belt for the gear is going to go around that to move move the armature, or we're going to call it, up and down. So we just do that 3 times. Like I said, the curve where the motors went is not important on this side because there's no motor on this side for it. So that was just a curve cut out for the motor. So it's only important on the first two pieces. After that, it's not so important. Screw that in. Get that screwed in. Number 2's done. One more to go. So I hope you don't mind that I cut away when I was doing the repetitive part of putting the three pieces to the frame together, because it seems like, well, why would you want to sit and watch me repeat putting that together over and over and over again? So I thought it was better just to cut away, come back when those are all three done, and then show you the next steps of the assembly rather than, oh look, let's do this again. Here, watch me do this again. That just seems like that's not a good way to do the video. So, okay, I got all three of these completed now with all the gears and everything in it. So next thing in this plan is to go to, let's see, that should be all the way to D3. So we should be on D4 now. So D4 is these plates right here. There's a plate. So there's two of them. Let me find them here. I just saw, oh, here they are. I guess there's three of them. There's three of these plates here. And on these plates we're going to put some rollers, which is in D4 kit. We're on step D4 here on this thing. I like how they labeled D4, but they didn't label D1, 2, 3. Very smart, huh? Actually it did. D3 is the putting the display on. Really out of sequence. So this should have been D3. This should be D1 and D2. So I'm sorry. So here's the way this should work. This will be D1. This part here where we put the motors in is D2. And then what they marked as D4, this should actually be D3. And then D4 will be the effector, or whatever you want to call it. And then D5 should be this display, putting the display on in place. And then D6 is putting the aluminum switch and stuff like that, the switches in place for the access. And then D7 is putting the extruder together. And then it's hooking up the power supply and wiring, and then doing the final assemblies of the frame and everything to put this all together. So that's where we are. So these plates and these rollers, these will be the plates and rollers that will go onto the sides and roll up and down over the edge of this extrusion. And that's how it's going to actually raise up and down. It will actually roll along those extrusions. So three on it. And that's why there's three of these plates. I can't tell if this has any kind of plastic over it. Looks like it does, but I can't tell for sure. This looks like laser cut plastic of some sort, and peeling a little protective peeling off of it, skin off of it. Yeah, so it has a protective skin over it. Peeling that off, and it's just looks like plexiglass that was laser cut. So get the next one started. Excuse me. So we'll get the next one started here and peel that one off. So that one's cleared. So what I'm going to show you how to assemble one. I will cut away again and assemble the other two instead of doing it again. Having you watch me put this together 3 times. It just seems like a real bullshit thing to do. So it looks like some other piece goes with this, but I can't tell what it is yet. Not that. This looks like stuff for tying up the cables. Not cables. Think of it in a minute. the belts. This is how you attach the belts. These belts here, of which we have quite a bit of it. Let's see, I don't see this other part anywhere. Unless it's this right here. Don't see it. Doesn't look like those parts there at all. In this box here, I've thrown the heat sinks that go on the board. I'm gonna throw them in with this last motor that's here. I'm gonna try and grab this other box over here and see what's inside. I forgot what's inside of this box. It might have the parts I'm looking for. Nope, it has the display and the processor board. So I'm not finding something here and that's bothering me. Now maybe it's the way that they have it pictured. You know, this is after all a Chinese thing. Sorry. Heartburn. No, so I don't see these parts. I seem to be missing something. It's the parts that have the great. Oh, I guess this is the part. Okay, this is the part. It just doesn't look like the picture. The picture here, which is this part right here, looks totally different than this part right here. Oh, I guess it does look like it, sort of. But, yeah, okay, it does. Never mind. It just looks different when you're looking at it here, but I see the slope now and how they have it now. Okay, okay, so I have that. So I have M530s. Wow, M5s. Okay, so they're like a pan head type screw like this. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's like a pan head. It's not a cap screw. So that's what they want us to use for this. It's going to go through the plastic and into some M5 nuts, and it looks like M5 eccentric. So I got to find these. It's all in here. I'm probably looking in the wrong bag for parts, by the way. Let's get our hardware out here for this. Like I said, we'll build the first one, and after that, we'll figure out the rest. I got a screw stuck in this one. Okay, good. I don't know what's going on there. There's something wrong with that piece. Not good. So I don't know if you can see this, but inside that wheel, there's like a piece of metal in there that is blocking me from putting a screw through it. I don't know if that's supposed to be that way, but I cannot do anything about it. It's stuck in there, and I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Well, I guess, okay. I got it blocked out. That's okay. I see how it works. Okay. So we have these eccentric screws, or nuts. I'm going to sort them all. Then we have some regular spacers as well. Looks like there's 6 of the eccentrics and 6 of the regular spacers. So each one uses 2 of the regular spacers and 2 eccentrics. And I'm going to follow the exact way the diagram shows. So it shows us mounting the plate this way. Good job. Okay, so it shows us the plate holding it this way, like this. And I'm going to put the eccentric on this side, which will be to my right. And then I'm going to put a... So both eccentrics go to my right. And I'm not sure which way they go eccentrically. So it looks like they go against the plate here, even though it doesn't really look like they don't go all the way, they don't go into the plate. So we're going to put a... So there's some spacers here that are a different color. They say they're copper. They look brass to me. But then, what do I know? I'm stupid, right? There better be a few of these, it looks like. There'd be... Okay, so there's two of those. They go on the side where the eccentric nut is at. So now what we need is our screws that are going to go through and hold these in place, which are these black ones right here. So these guys here, again, they're more flat even than the other ones. They're not a button head. They're a flat hex. It's going to go through, but I can't tell where it goes through. You know, the way they... now I see. It actually goes on the top, goes up here, and goes through with the eccentric on one side and the other on the other side, and beats the hell out of me which side goes where. Okay, so the eccentric goes on this side. Then we're going to put a copper, so it's like brass, through, and then we're going to put one of these through and into that eccentric, like that, and then into a nut, which is, it looks like it says it's an M5 nut. There should be a washer that goes with it. The only M5s that are in this bag are actually nylocks, so nylon locking type. So I'm assuming those are the ones that actually go into this. That's my assumption. Because the only other ones are ones that are smaller in size, and they obviously are not going to fit on this at all. So what we're going to do is, on the nylock side, we have some M5 washers that need to go, so they have a bunch of them here. I'll grab one of them. It'll go on, and then the M5 nylock is going to go on here. And in their toolkit there should be a one that fits these guys, and it does. And then we'll tighten this up a little bit. I don't know if this is big enough or not. No, it's actually slipping it, but it'll work for the moment. It'll work good enough to get us to where we need to go right now. So that's the first one. The second one here is also gets an eccentric one, and then we put in another brass or whatever you want to call it, and then you take another one of these wheels, which that one's got to move the piece out of the way. That goes through. Grab another one of the silver flat washers. They had a problem with this one, I can see. Oh, it didn't laser cut properly, or maybe I'm doing this wrong. Ooh, no, I'm not doing this wrong. Okay, I'm doing it right. Never mind. I was thinking maybe I might be doing it wrong because the eccentrics don't, you know, whatever. But I see now. The eccentrics cannot go into these smaller holes, so obviously I can't. It won't adjust this at all if I move it. You see, because it won't fit in that hole. So it only fits in one. We'll put that one. Oh, let's go to the same side. Put that one in, and put the other flat washer on. And put the other nylock on. Again, tighten it up. I hate when that happens. I don't have enough hands, you know. Okay, that's good enough for that. On the other side, you're going to use the same type of setup, but I need to move. Again, it's got one of those. The piece inside is moved, but now I know what it's all about, so I know how to fix it. It's not a big deal at all. Okay, that's back in place. Put that through. Put one of these non-brass. This is free. I don't have enough. Oh, what happened here? I don't have enough of those. Are these? No. Oh, sorry. The other side doesn't get these brass ones. That's why. So the ones that just use regular old washers, not eccentric washers, they don't get a brass washer. So this one here, the hole isn't cut out right. It's flat. It's not round. Obviously that needs to be fixed. What a bitch, huh? All the other ones are done right, but this one was done incorrectly. The laser did not cut a round hole. So I'm going to take a break and go to the garage and fix that problem. But you know what we can do is I can do the one that's still here. I'll put the washer on. I'll put that through. Oops, wrong side. I'll put it through on this one. I'll put sorry. It does get a silver flat washer on the back side, and one of these nuts. I can get it on there. Put these nylocks on. Get it started. And look at that. Put it on. Cramping my fingers. That's not fun. That. And of course I grabbed one that has the same problem with the thing, but I'll have to fix them all anyway, so this is easy to fix it now. I see it still has a problem. Maybe. Nope, so look at that. That thing keeps moving around on me. Never seen anything like this. God, what a pain in the ass. Piss poor design. I don't know what this thing is. It's inside these, in the middle. That's in these wheels, but they're fucking up. Sorry for the language there. It's irritating. I get one lined up, the other one moves. I'll mess with it later. Try another one. There. I already did the one I can't do. So I already did all those. I had taken drill this, and we'll break here. You see how it's going together. The wheels are here. Eccentrics on this side. The other one's on this side. Last one's going to go here, but I got to drill it out, and then I got to build the other two. And I'll figure out this other stupid problem with these inserts in the middle of these things that are stopping me from putting it together here. They keep falling out of the position. And we'll stop the video. And obviously I'm doing some editing on this. Welcome back. I've got the rest of these all put together now. Got all three of them put together as far as that goes. There's another repeat step coming up, so I will, again, I'll try and go through it as quickly as I can. So what we're going to have, again, is the eccentric washers or spacers are going to be on my right side again. And then this piece here is going to have the two effector rods that go on here, or the two rods that help guide the thing up and down. They're going to go on here, but I'm going to put so what I'm going to do is I need to mount the two rods on here. So let me, fastest way to do this rather than trying to unravel a bunch of rubber band here on this thing is I'm going to cut the rubber band on both ends. Both sides. Why they ain't cutting, I don't know. Anyway, the other one just popped right off like it's nothing, and then this one wants to fight me. Okay, so I need two of them. I use M320 to go through the rod. I'm assuming these are M320s, so the longer of the ones in the group here. 3, 4, 5, 6, and I got 8 of them that are like that long. But I got 9 of them that are that long. Anyway, I'm assuming these are M320s. I can measure them and find out for sure. Pull out my calipers. I'm pretty sure these are M320s. Put this at 0. Get that out to the shoulder on the the shoulder here. And it looks like it's pretty close to 20 millimeters at 20.04, and I'm just kind of getting as close as I can. I don't have the exact way to measure. So these are M320s. I need those. They're going to go actually right through the rod and then into this, but with it, let's see, I'll show you the face. So facing this way. It's going to go in like this and in. And a nut needs to go in here, obviously, so that's one thing that needs to happen. So I need to put a M3 nut in there. And then it's going to go in, and then it's going to screw into that nut. And it didn't work. It didn't screw in. Try again. See if I can get that thing to screw into the darn nut. It's not even going, the nut isn't going all the way down. Need something smaller than that. Of course, the piece comes out that I'm trying to work with. Trying to get that nut started. Okay, I got it started now. Then I can grab a... Go ahead and tighten that up a little bit. These 20 millimeters just seem a little too long because they're hitting the plastic inside. Like there should be a hole going all the way through for these, but there's not. And so it's hitting that, and so really this should be a little shorter than that, I think. But whatever, it's in. I'll put another nut in the other side. Push that back down in again. Make sure it's all the way down. And we'll take and put another one of these guys on. Oh, it pushed it right out of the way again. Like these nuts don't want to go all the way down in. and they're hard to. There I think I got it in now. So they fight with you, trying to go in. Okay, so I got started. Tighten it up again. So we do this again another 3 times. I'm just going to show you this one again. I'm going to cut the video off and finish putting them all together. So there's this one. It is going to get mounted onto the plate with the 2 eccentrics to my right. So it's going to get mounted like so onto this plate. There's some holes for nuts to go through on this. Which side the nuts go on? Obviously the other side. Supposed to be M3 lock nuts, which are these guys right here. They have a little shoulder on them. So that's what's going into here. And we're using M314s, which I guess are these guys here. And I will put that in. And let's get that started. So I get the damn thing in. Go in the hole here. Shove that in all the way. Then we're going to make sure my eccentric nuts are on the right side here. And the rods are going up from the eccentric nut. And it goes into here. And these 14s are, whoo, man. I don't think those are 14. I'm wondering if I got the wrong ones. And that's all there is. So it's got to be these, but man, they seem awfully short. And of course I can't get the damn thing on there without it falling all the time. Really? It's going to be a pain in my butt, ain't it? I cannot get it. My fingers are so big I can't freaking get it flat without dropping it every time. As soon as I get it on there flat, it slips away and I lose it. I don't think there's enough thread here for me to bite into it to get it to. And of course, I got rid of it. What a pain! Oh no, these aren't long enough. They aren't going through. They just come right back off every time. Like these are not long enough screws. They said it's supposed to be 14s. Not happening with these. They're not long enough. So I'm glad they said that they're supposed to be that, but they aren't it. They aren't going to work. It needs to be a little longer than that, because I cannot get those to go through. These are like the same size as what I just rent for the other one. Do I have anything in between? That's a little bit longer, so maybe this one right here will work better. We'll try. Come on. Really? Oh, Jesus. What a pain. It's very painful. Actually, these should have been put on before you put the wheels on, because they make it much easier to put together, to not have something in your way when you're trying to put them together. Having those wheels and screws in my way while I'm trying to put this together is really being a pain in my butt. So, anyway, I got that in. Put another one in here. Maybe. Get the darn thing started. There we go. Get it in there. then that one. Got it in there. Oh, you know what I should have done? I wonder. Not showing you. Oh yes, I put them in the other way. Okay, so these are put in wrong. You actually put them in upside down, and they actually fit in the hole. So those were the right screws. They would work the way they want you to put them together. I didn't. I made a bad assumption there that it went the other way. So that was my fault. I made a bad assumption. I assumed because they're locking and the locks are on the flat side where flares out, that they went, that's what went against the plastic. But the way they want you to build this is, if I get the damn thing out, one more, is that the nuts actually fit into the holes, sort of, like that. And that's what they want you to do. Like that. So that's kind of fooled me. Wasn't expecting that. And I dropped something on the floor, I know I did. I felt it hit me. No, I don't see it. Oh. Just the screws that were the longer ones and not the ones we're supposed to use now. So another one in here. Put all of these into their positions like that. So what you do is you actually put them in upside down, which is weird, but they have a cutout, as you can see here. They're octet or hex hole pattern, and the hex holes are what will hold the nuts. And then the screws are long enough because now you don't have to go all the way through the plastic and into the nut. The nut's meeting you part of the way. Oh, excuse me. Oh, indigestion. I gotta get this guy back out. He was stuck in that hole. That hole's a little tight. So that one goes in there, like that. And then this one goes in there like that. And then the side with the two, whatchamacallits, and the nut fell out. That's wonderful. That's just great. I just love it when things don't stay together for you. Come on, really. Things have to be difficult, you know. And I just dropped the other screw out, of course. And as soon as I get the nut in, or the screw in, the nut falls out from the other side. It's really wonderful. Great design. Not. Okay, got that one in. Now if I get the other one, put the nut back in again because it fell out. And then I can put the other screw in. Maybe. If I can get it lined up. I really love it when things don't want to cooperate, you know. Right? Now I got that one in. And then 3 feet for the other two, which was a real pain because the holes are too small in the plastic. almost done with this one, and then, like I said, I'm going to stop the video because there's no sense in me showing you how to do it 3 times. So there's the first one. Now that I understand how it goes together, they go much simpler. Just remember that the cap screws actually go upside down into the block of plastic, and it will all work just wonderfully fine. And I will build the other 3 and then stop the video. Hello. So, okay, I got all these guys put together. I started to do this and I realized, oops, I forgot to show you guys what I'm doing here. So this is the actual plate that will hold the what do you call it? So I got this backwards now. Shit. Okay, so I'll undo it. Just really got it backwards. Right, because what I want is this to go the other way around, so that when this is on the thing, no, I had it the right way. Ah, I see what happened. Yes, I have it on. I forgot what I'm doing here, so excuse me if I do stupid things. Because it's not clear what you're trying to do here. It doesn't really tell you a whole lot. It just shows you this picture and says this is how you do it, and that's really not too valid. It just shows you this picture and this is how you put it together, but it's not really telling you very much. So what you want to make sure is this is the top, I believe, and then you have your 2 eccentrics on one side, and then your rail is going to fit in between these 2, I'm assuming. Looking the other way, it won't fit. It's too wide, so it's got to go that way. So what's going to happen is this is going to fit in between like so, and this is going to be up at the top like this, and then this is going to be down below and sitting like so. So that's the overall goal with this. So I want my 2 things to be on the right like it was before. I want this to be here and this to be here. That's what I want it to be, just like that. So I want this to come through, and I'm going to put it through here. So I'm putting it through this basically triangular plate system. The extruder, the Bowden feed for the top of the hot end is going to go through here. So it's going to go through, and then we just take a M3 nut and put it on the back side of this, and then I'll take my key handle and I'll try and get this screw started into that nut. Okay, so I got that one in, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. Put another one, and put this through, and grab the nut and put it on there also. Again, same thing. Get it started with my key handle here, and get it going, and now it's in, and now it's together the way that we want it to go, like this. Then the other two are going to go on this side, and 2 are going to go on, and then 2 are going to go on this side, and 2 are going to go on this side over here. And we just keep repeating that. So we got to make sure that we get this the right way again. So this is going to go like so. Make sure I get everything correct, otherwise we'll have a problem. And we'll grab another screw. And we'll grab another M3 nut in here. Grab an M3 nut, put it in place, and we'll get it started again with it. And then we'll repeat that process on the other side. Another M3 nut. There. Get my key going. Okay, so I got that started. It's screwed in, but not tight. And now the last one. And let's see, we want to make this the same way. So all of them are on the inside like so. This has got to go over here. There's a screw. There's a screw in here. Maybe. Get in there. Find me in. No, do not. Flipping stuff around here. Be careful. I'll do stuff. Got a nut here. Get started. Over the last one here. Oh, be careful. I think I just fucked up. Oh, I didn't. There it is. Okay. It'd be easy to screw this up, I could tell. And one more nut. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Get started. Alright, so we got all this together now. Got all three wheels, all of our things together here. And we're all set. So that's all put together. It says to put the a fan and the heat element or whatever for the Bowden feed together. We need one of these fans, it looks like. I would think it's probably this fan here, because it seems like that would be the fan that would go on the hot end to me. That's my guess. These are like part coolers to route the other fan whenever I get it together. Let's see, there's the actual hot ends. Where is the other part? What did I do with it? Where'd it go? I really don't need these here because those are my nitrile gloves. No, 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 no. 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 Oh, where did I put them? Where did I put the hot end? I joked about it being like a Chimera hot end earlier, and I don't see it. I thought I put it over there on my on that desk, on my desk there, and I don't see it nowhere. Crap. Okay, I'm going to stop the video again while I search for my parts. You don't need to watch me go through a whole search of the room again. I'm looking for something else. Okay, we're back again. I found my parts. I set some gloves on top of it and I couldn't find it because the gloves are blocking the view of it. Okay, so this is the fan that will go on the hot end. I just took the hot end out right here. So here's our hot end. Like I said, it looks very similar to a Chimera hot end, HE3D Chimera. Not sure which way the fan goes because it doesn't give me any indication of which way it's blowing. Love that. So I don't know which way it's blowing. Doesn't tell me anything. This is the fan goes on there, that's all it tells me. Crap. Well, I'll put it on. If it works, great. If it don't, well, then I know I did it wrong, right? I'm putting the label out. Then I need some M312s. I don't know about M312s. Those are long enough. They're going to go in here and screw into there. And we'll put this one in. So I'm putting the M312s into it. I'm putting the fan on with the label out. I don't know if that's the right way or not. There's nothing that says which way the fan blows, so I'm again making an assumption, which maybe the way my luck is, it'll be wrong. And I'll have to take it apart and deal with it again later. But again, nothing new. Won't be the first time, and won't be the last time. Right? So we'll get all these screwed in. We have our fan in place. Our fan is almost put onto our hot end here. So what's going to happen is this is going to get screwed into that triangular plate that actually gets swung back and forth, basically, is the way it kind of works. So it's going to go in here. It's going to go into here, and somehow I got to get these holes to line up for this guy to screw in. I don't know which way it goes. You know, one way or the other it's going to go. I have to look at it and see which way the holes are. There's actually a set of 4 holes that are close together, and a set of 4 holes that are kind of far apart. So I'm assuming the ones that are kind of far apart are the ones that are going to be the ones, and they are, from what it looks like. Of course, getting it together is going to be a major obstacle of its own. And I'm going to be using, doesn't say. Wonderful. I love it when it doesn't tell you what they are. Nothing. Nothing at all. Beautiful. One other M3s, I don't know what length. That's the only thing I don't know. Is how long they need to be. Whether 10 millimeters long enough. Whether it needs to be longer than 10 millimeter. Don't know the answer. And wow, they're tight. Nope, 10 ain't long enough. I can tell 10 ain't long enough already. But let's get that back out. So these ain't long enough. Maybe this will be. Maybe not. Not that one either. So maybe this one. Okay, so put this one in. And we'll put that into there. And we'll put that into there. Get that screw started maybe. Sort of. Kind of. Like that. We'll find the next one. And we'll put them over here. And we completely missed the hole. Of course we did. Wrong hole. Dealing with these things is like, oh my god, a pain in the ass. This goes in here. And we'll get it started again. Get out of my way. Come on, really? Alright. Now I've got all of them. So the only thing really left to do, besides pack up all the electronics, is to really when they show you to put the switch on, right here, this switch, but they don't tell you what height, where it goes, anything like that. Just here, put the switch here. With no clue of how far. It looks like it's near the. I'm hoping that's near the top edge. I'm assuming. I have no fucking clue. But that's what it looks like to me. I don't know. Yeah, nothing about. Oh, excuse me. Nothing about hooking up the belts or anything like that at all. So really, nothing else left to really show it in their directions. Yeah, so that switch is near the top, but it doesn't say how far. It just says near the top of one of them. Huh, wonderful. And you know, that's all it says. Big deal. Thank you very much. That's pretty worthless, pretty useless, right? Fairly useless. We take a. I don't know. It looks like a. I don't know, a piece of plastic or what it is and what it looks like or anything like that. It doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it's this piece. Looks more like one of these pieces right here. That's what it looks like to me. And then it looks like there's a spacer and something else that goes on there, which I don't see again. And those are maybe these. Maybe one of these. Can't tell. It says part of the D6. Oh, wait. I see. Never mind. I see it. Not those. It's in the same package, which is a D6 pack. Inside the D6 pack, there are these little black blocks. It looks like there's a couple M2 14 screws that go in. This is a D6 pack now that we're working on. It looks like another piece for the hot end, another maybe titanium tube. I don't know if it's titanium or not, but it looks like that. Another piece for the Bowden feed. Two more of those blocks for the other two switches that we're going to put in, and two more of the spacers for the other two switches we're going to put in as well. I can't tell if there's any plastic on this. Looks like there is. Yes, there is. So I will peel that off. That's peeled. Must be on the other side too, because it's shiny and it's not shiny on the sides. So I'll get this here in a minute. Come on, baby. Peel. Like the television series The Avengers, Emma. I don't know if anybody else will get that reference. Emma Peel. Patrick McNee, and I forgot the lady's name that played Emma Peel. Patrick McNee. I forgot what the name of his character was even anymore. It's been so long since that show was on. I don't remember her real life name either. Funny. I remember his real life name, but not his character name. And I remember her character name, but not her real life name. Funny how selective the memory is sometimes. come on. Breaking my fingernails doing this, peeling this. If I can get enough of this peeled off, and I can get it started. It's hard for me to get it going. No pain. Got it. Okay, so I got that one. Alright, so that goes this way because they're curved. It mounts beautifully that way. It uses these two M214s. It's going to go through these two M214s and into this M214. Actually, it's going to go through a switch, then into an M214. And I need a switch. Let me grab one of these switches. I'm not sure which one. Oh, maybe. I don't know. They aren't telling me anything. I hate when they do this. Oh, I think they did. Okay, no problem. I'll just put this one on here. And we'll peel it off. Like that. And we have our switch that we need for this part. And it needs to point downward. It's going to go this way. So it needs to point downward. Here's the switch. I just peeled it off from the rest of the switches. It's going to go mount on here with the actual toggle for the switch facing down. And we use these M2 screws to go through it. And into here. And then actually it's going to screw into the block, I believe, because there is no nut that size. It's actually going to screw into the block with that screw. And I need to find me another Allen wrench to screw that in with. That's probably stuck to the bottom of this plate. No, not there. Not there. Not in there. Not there. There it is. So screw that in if I can. Unfortunately, I don't have a T-handle this small. This is really tiny with the M2s. Screw those M2s in. Now what's going to happen is there's going to be an M3, I believe, that's going to screw in, no, not M3, it's got to be an M5. That's going to screw into one of those T-nuts, and then that T-nut is going to fit into the channel, just like we did when we were putting the base and the top together. So go screw into here. Don't know how far it's going to go, but it's going to go on this rail here and some space down. I don't know how far. Nothing tells me how far. So hopefully this will be good enough to do the job. And we'll tighten that up. Finish tightening up this guy. I guess we're tight. No, that one's not. That one's loose. That one's tight now. Okay, so I got that all together the way it should be. Now you know the way this is going to go together. This is the top. This is the bottom. This is going to go in here. Now you can see it's pretty fucking tall. It's a pretty damn tall printer. Now what's going to happen is I need to put a couple of whatever nuts in here, because they're actually going to go into the channel and hold it to that piece here as I go through. So this is going to have like a M5 nut or whatever it is, and a T slot going through it. And yeah, at least that's my estimation. Nothing like that. Nothing shows those parts now. I'm off the print anymore. They aren't showing you any more steps at all on how to put this together beyond this point. So I'm making assumptions again based upon my own feelings on this. So I'm going to put an M5 through this side right here with a T on it, with a T nut on it. And I do it twice because there's one on the bottom. Oh, this is going to be fun, I can tell already. I gotta go through and I gotta put it on here. That's fun. Sure. Real fun, right? So what's happening then? Okay, so let me show you. Here's the bottom piece. It's got two of those. So I gotta put a M5 through it with a T-nut on it. Then put an M5 and a T-nut in here. And I gotta try and hold it on there. And I gotta put it a certain way, otherwise it will not bite into the rail. And I'll put that one in there, like that. And then I'll take another one, and I will take another T-nut. And I'll do it. Ugh, I just dropped it. I don't know where it went. I heard it slip through the stuff here. So I'll go in that one. I'm going to turn this so I can get to it easier. And so so when you look at the T-nut, there's like a little flange on it. I don't know if you can see it, but it has little serrations on it. Those serrations are actually what go against the metal. So actually they face the screw, and the rounded side faces away from the screw. And that's so that it can turn and grip onto the rod. So we're going to put this in. I'm assuming this has to go on the inside. The switch needs to go on the inside of this. So I'm going to try and slide this in now. But wish me luck, because this is not wanting to line up at all. Not sure why. It's ignoring me. Maybe I'm going the wrong way. Does it matter? No. They're identical. They're symmetrical. But it doesn't want to go. Let me try it from the other side. The other side to start. And turn the nut. Ah! God darn it! The nut wants to turn the other way of what I want. Is to have it in line so that it can fit into the slot if I can. I can't get the fucker to start. There we go, got it. I need to do the same thing again on the other half. Oh, what a pain. Really not wanting to go in here. Really not liking me today, is it? Trying to get this thing to line up is just really, oh my god, hard. Why can't I get it to line up? I can't get it to line up with the plastic right now. I don't understand it. I can't get it lined up on the other side either. It's like this plastic is not molded correctly. There, I got it there. And when I get through one, I can't get through the other, so it must be an alignment issue. There, got it. Started. Oh my god. Oh, Shit. Damn it, the T-nut turned. Okay, so I got it down to the bottom here. I may have knocked it a little too far, but I got it there now. I may need to get a little hammer and tap that back a little bit. I used to have a ball peen in here. I still do. There. Now, it's just a matter of turning these and locking them in place. And hopefully that'll hold it. And that gets me number one of the rods. Now to show you how tall this thing actually is, I'm going to move my chair out of the way. I'm going to put this on the floor. So this is about, I don't know, 2.5 foot tall table. Maybe 3 foot, 2.5 to 3 foot tall table. And you can see this sticks up a couple feet above that. So, or a foot or so above it at least. So it's a fairly tall printer, as you can tell. So, yeah, that was fun. Now I gotta put the others in and repeat that process that we just did. So find me another number 5, another T-nut. Put it in here. Fight with this thing again to get the T-nut on again, because it's really a pain to put it in with something in there. Okay, so I got that one in. I'm going to turn this. This is going to be fun, I can tell already. Put this here. Put that one in. Gotta be careful not to put any pressure on this so I don't actually accidentally bend the rod. Come on. This guy started. Okay, so I got another one in there. Got one more to do in order to get this ready. So one more piece to put together. I'm moving all my stuff all over the place here. This is for the other 2 switches. One of those. Just 2 small things here. Looks like some more M3 nuts or something. But I'm going to put together the other M5 and the T-nut on the next piece here. Get that in there, going to get it lined up. Get that started. Get this one. And another one of those. Alright, so I got all of them started now. Hopefully things will cooperate with me to a degree. I mean, I don't expect total cooperation because nothing ever does that. Okay, so we got that. We're ready to put another one of these in. Let's get our stuff all lined up here so that we aren't fighting with the T-nuts being an issue. I can't see it now. I'll try and get this lined up. Feels like I got it through. Not through to the bottom yet. Yep. Tap, tap, tap to the bottom. That feels good. And we'll tighten these guys up. Tighten this one up. second one together. Another one to go. Line up my T-nuts again because they aren't lined up right now. Now they are. Have it in there. Too far. Perfect. Tighten that one. And tighten that one. Alright. We've now got this pretty much together. My cable's not, obviously, as you can tell here, that's my cable, it's not the printer. Obviously, the thing I need to do is these need to go on. Right? So we need to get one of these on, I'm assuming this way, and then come over here and put this one on this way, I'm assuming, but of course, fuck. It's too tight. Oh no, there it goes. Got it. And I got one more to go. Which has this nut on it, and now it's in the way, right? I gotta take that off. Fucking shit. What a pain in the cojones. Tells you to put that on and then it's in the way. That's pretty stupid, huh? Alright, so now we've got all three of them put on here, as you can see. The only thing left to do now is to put this up here on the top. I may have gotten ahead of myself again, I don't know. We'll find out. Like I said, I had no directions, so I'm just kind of winging it now on this. And I'm trying to get this guy lined up on this top freaking hole here. And of course he wants to fight me, like everything does. Nothing wants to frickin' ever work the way you want it to work, you know? Got that one, okay. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Get this one to line up. And of course, like I said, everything wants to fight. Nothing ever wants to go together the way you want it to go together. Okay, got that one started. One more. Get that one started, and I will be... God darn you. There. Got it. Okay, so I got all three of these started now. And I just need to put M5s and the nuts in there and it will be set. I didn't put the bottom plate on yet. The build plate. So that's not put together yet. But we're definitely getting there. And I may be ahead of myself on this. But that's where I'm at anyway. So we'll take this and we'll put him back on again the way he should be. I don't know which one. It didn't seem to matter which one. Get that started. Nope. Of course not. It's got to be a POS. And not want to cooperate. There we go. We got it. Wrong size. Feels like the wrong size. Feels like this is a small one, but maybe not. Okay, got it. Alright, so there we go with all that. I am going to take a break because it's already almost 11 p.m. on this Saturday night. That I don't have all the rest of the information for it. So this is all now playing by ear, and going with my assumptions on how it should go together. I'm assuming the belt needs to go in here, but I don't see how the belt actually works yet. So that's oh, so it attaches here on the belt, I see, through this piece. So it's on the outside where you can actually see the belts on the inside of the machine. So the belt's going to go through the pulley up here, the motor down here, motor over here, motor over here, pulley on top, and it's going to pull these things up and down as needed. I don't understand how the actual mechanism of how this thing moves back and forth like this. I guess it pulls one up and the other two down, and the same thing like this, just moves like this, right? So that's my best guess. With that, the modem feed. Not sure how all this goes together yet, so that's, I believe that this is the bottom of the machine to cover the bottom. This goes on as the build plate, as my actual build plate on the bottom here. So you got to find where all the screw holes are that it mounts with. It seems like they really didn't align the holes too well. As far as that goes, like this should go, you know, somewhere. I'm going to get this out of my way for a minute. And of course I get stuck. Like always, everything's got to be a pain in my friggin' balls. Fucking course, you know. If it's not one fucking thing, it's another fucking thing, right? Oops. You're listening to me say all this. Oh, sorry. That's pretty crude, isn't it? But that's life. I am an ex-sailor. What do you expect? Assuming some sort of arrangement like so, but I don't see how this is designed to mount other than, guess what it mounts with? T-nuts. From what I can tell, it mounts with more T-nuts. Yeah. So that's how it's going to mount, is with T-nuts. And some screws that actually have, oh, what do you call it? Crap. I don't see any of those in here. I don't see any of those in here either. I don't see anything like the screws they're wanting you to use for that. Personally, that's me. Maybe it's in here. Nope, nothing. Oh wait, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 screws here. 3 screws anyway. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't see how this works. I don't see how it works. So I gotta figure that out. That's something I gotta figure out still, is how this plate actually gets mounted. Because looking at it, you know, it looks like it would go in the T slot. But the screws they have are not the right screws for a T slot. They have nothing that has that kind of head to it. There's got to be something else that I'm missing here on how to put this together. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just making this more complicated than it should be. At the moment, I don't see it. At the moment, I don't see it. I don't see nothing in the other old hardware from before, from earlier. There's absolutely nothing on this at all. I'll figure it out, and I will get back to this tomorrow evening once I get home, or once I'm ready to start again. But for now, we're finished with this for the evening, for tonight, and we'll start again tomorrow after I'm done with all my other stuff that I'm doing, because it's my Sunday, and Sunday is always, I'm sorry, but this is the way my life is. Sunday is always reserved for me to go play golf. I always play golf on Sunday, if I can. Sometimes I have to play Saturday because something else happens and I can't do it on Sunday, but typically every Sunday is my golf day. And I really do try to keep that because it's my day of relaxation. Even though I get frustrated with my golf game, it's still relaxing as far as the physical exertion and everything else that goes with that. So until I finish this, I'll talk to you